Can't escape from the team, call the morning steam. It's time to break, run for cover. That's gonna cover, that's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott, running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. What? Ramon Scott, sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money. You know how we do it.
All right, a pleasant good morning to you coming from the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas. This is Ramon Scott, and welcome to the Morning Steam Show here for Tuesday, December 30th. We've got 3 bowl games going off today with early action on the sports betting card and some college basketball that starts early as well. We'll preview those football games, and also got NBA tonight, 4 games on tap, 5 in the NHL for a good sports betting card on a great sports betting week. Thank you for joining me here on the Morning Steam Show, and we'll get rolling here in just a moment with our previews. But man, what a great night we had last night in conjunction with Razor Sharp Picks, Mikey and I, and the good game we ended up with. What happened there? A funny thing happened on the way to after 21-0 last night with the Rams and the Falcons. We know why the Falcons, they're not the best. They were good last night. Bijan was good, and the Rams weren't just quite good enough, right? It was those little tiny lapses that they kept having that maybe just a sign of a team that wasn't completely focused there as Atlanta kicked that 51-yard field goal by Zane Gonzalez with 21 seconds left for the win. We saw the pick 6 in there for Atlanta. We saw the blocked field goal return for the Rams in the game. And, Atlanta won their last 3 games. New Orleans is cooking right now. Maybe we should just kick Carolina and Tampa Bay out of the playoffs and let the Falcons and the Saints play one another. And then the winner of that game can go to the playoffs in the sad South. But still an important game there for the Rams. They didn't come through. Important meaning that, we're still trying to battle here for the 5th spot, and they still could even get it. But they're going to play uphill anyways going on the road in the postseason. A lot of people say that, hey, don't you think Stafford, could still be the MVP? And his odds for the MVP, along with Drake May, was fluctuating up and down last night like a bride's nightie as he kept throwing the interceptions, and then Drake May would be the favorite, and then he'd come back down. And, it probably wouldn't be such a big deal. I was whining about it with Razor and said, should we really penalize a guy in this game that really doesn't mean that much? He's up there just kind of slinging it a little bit, but maybe more so was the other games that the Rams kind of lost down the stretch, and the reason why that remember when they were going to be the number 1 seed, what happened to that? So the Rams have had their problems down here of late as well. So maybe Drake May can get that MVP. We'll see, but it was coming down to those two. I don't know why we forget about Josh Allen, and great year he's had as well. But all right, and got some other great action today, including a big EPL card here for the holiday week, and they're also African Cup of Unders coming up here in just a little bit. I'm watching World Championship darts right now. We're getting down to the next round, be the quarterfinals here, so a few matches going on, and Legend coming up here in a little bit. MVP going to be in the afternoon, in the evening session here, afternoon in the U.S. So thank you for joining me. Hey, I've got a 7-pack of plays today up at winnable.com/Ramon. You can get some more plays from me. I'm covering more college basketball today because of the abbreviated schedule in NBA and NHL, but I've got 7 great plays up right now over at winnable.com. Use the promo code STEAM to save 20% off the price. Just subscribe for $19.95 and it comes to $16.10 a month, and you get several plays from me. It's usually 2 or 3 send outs to your device or your computer at winnable.com/Ramon. And when I send those out, usually I have the overnight tonight in the college basketball, trying to get out of some of these numbers. As I think we were getting beat up last night because I didn't go overnight, so came back with the overnight here in a 7-pack up right now. Hey, until the new year, use the promo code Xmas, get 7 days for free with that package with me right now. Man, it was so what was I? I mean, I'm no marketing expert. Otherwise, I'd probably, I'd probably be sitting here with you, but maybe I'd be in a nicer satellite studio if I could do the marketing right. Because all we had to do was announce it, and you guys came on board. So I'm really excited about that. Give me a chance to prove my wares here for a week with you, right in the biggest time of the year, college football bowl season, and of course the championship playoff games here this weekend in college football, and the final week of the NFL with those games that we learned a little bit more last night with the result there anyway. So Bijan, though, 195 yards there in the game, 134 yards in the reception department. We did score with a few of those props last night with the guys on the air with Mumpfield and also with Kyron Williams there in the second half. We scored. Corum went out of the game. Didn't get my long yardage prop there because of Corum getting injured. He did return to the field, but I don't think he returned to the game there. But still, the Rams kind of came back and made a fun game with the guys last night. And how about the bowl game yesterday? Hey, we had the winner here on the morning steam with Georgia Southern. Said take advantage of that situation with Appalachian State. Obviously, they had, one guy who was a veteran quarterback, but they wanted to play this younger quarterback. So the QBs ended up throwing 4 interceptions in the game. Georgia Southern ran all over App State. They finished almost even in yards. I think App State had them by 40 yards, but App State with Arnold just kept running the ball there over 10 yards a pop. And the Eagles ran for 242 yards, and it was 29-10. We took Georgia Southern in that game, minus 10 points here on the Morning Steam show. So hopefully you were with me in that one. I know we had, I think we were pretty much in agreement there. I know there was some on the dog there in the chat, but no problem. And the games today are certainly interesting. And we'll talk about it here right at the top of the show. So, all right, use that promo code Xmas and get 7 days for free. Thank you for signing up, everybody. That's really cool. Let's see who's in the chat ready to go here today. Bob B. Mack is here. He's the official sponsor of the show. Here we got Blake here. Good morning. And Nick Handy, thank you as well for being here in the chat. And also Andrew K, thank you. Yeah, there you go. Is that like Amanda Hug and Kiss? Or all right, Jake Parma in there. Nuke is here with his visit. Thank you, Nuke. Great to have you. Irish King, Big Bag. We got to have a theme song for that. Bobby Mack says, my team's playing and AFCON. African Cup of Unders. It hasn't really been, it's just a fun name, but hey, it hasn't been a total snooze fest over there today. Not too many good matches today. Maybe the Nigeria-Uganda match might be the featured game, I think. R. Thompson's here as well. Greg Gibson, he said, God told you God win. No, is that what he, no, Godwin. What did he, Godwin. Let's see. All right. Oh, the ice guys. I thought we were calling ice on me. I have that Mexicano heritage. Nuke here. Smash the like button. Hey, everyone, like this video. Subscribe to our channel, Sports Money, here on YouTube. Fastest growing sports betting channel on YouTube. Greg here, Atlanta would win the prime time game. Yeah, we were on them. We were all on them on the panel last night. And I think, just kind of seeing the same thing. And hey, the Rams, if they anything, look, they didn't do the job, right? They were favored by a touchdown in the game, but they were never threatening to not cover the spread. It was pretty much Atlanta's game all the way there. Just tough when you don't have the motivation here. Like I said, look, the reason why the Rams are down to, probably sixth place. I mean, and they were just, a few weeks ago threatening for first before they lost some of these road games. That's how thin of a line it is, really. And when you lose there and you lose just at half, that's why I look at these guys next week. I mean, they're all playing for, basically, finish with the same record. So, all right. Their Cash Gain liked it. We were all on the Falcons there. It was a sweat. I was talking, maybe for me it was like talking shit, but at halftime it did seem like the Rams. You had Corum going to the locker room. It would look like, so give them credit. I think it was more of a fact that Atlanta's not really that great like those South teams are, that Atlanta was able to give it back up, and it looked relatively easy once the Rams were trying a little bit, right? And, hit wide open passes there. They're going to hit one or two. And what about the incredible play at the end by Puka Nacua? It's no catch, but man, to me, it looked like one of the coolest things with the hand in there. And yeah, the ball escaped and he knocked it away. It was actually a good play there by the defensive back there, but he almost came up with it only like he can. All right. And yep, that's right, Terrell. What an interesting situation there with that turn of events there. James Parham says good morning. And Terrell says the Bizarro Bulls there last night. And, well, we did see Giddy exit the game. They were already pretty much toast. But also the big news in the other game last night, of course, was Jokic leaving the game. And that didn't look good. I mean, that's obviously going to be sidelined here, Jokic here for a couple weeks. Is that fair to say? We'll get more news on it. But my prediction would be 7 to 10 days minimum with that type of injury, that hopefully it is only that. Get the assessment here. I don't think we really know yet, but looks like just a hyperextension, hopefully, there for Jokic, but that is going to take a little bit of time. So, all right, Jimmy was on the under there in Atlanta. Fernando, hello. And, we got you, Jimmy. We got you. I know what the number you meant there. Greg talking a little hockey success as well. I think I'm all caught up and ready to go so we can get going here. Portland, that late game. Oh, yeah, you know what? I was the one who let the guys down there with the under. They were saying take Portland, and I said under on the show. They had it right, and I cost us the parlay last night with the show. But let's get into it here with our bowl game, shall we? I think we've covered the recap, and we got to go. Not a terribly long show today, but I want to do a little college basketball here with a couple conferences, including my Aztecs today. So let's go to it and get your picks here going on the show. First up here, college football action here on Tuesday with the Independence Bowl. Coastal Carolina up here against Louisiana Tech. And, both teams are kind of fighting some defections here a little bit towards the end of this season. In fact, if you take a look at that line move, it's mostly the Coastal team that seems most affected coming into this game here tonight. Louisiana Tech also a little bit beat up here or depleted on offense coming into this game, but they were the favorite coming in by a touchdown already, and now they're up to 10 here just because of the fact that Coastal has a few more guys who won't be involved in the game here. Both teams are kind of affected offensively in this game. It still hasn't affected the total too much. I was kind of surprised about that, actually. The total here right now in the game is at 49.5. Now, it has dipped. It opened 52.5. Some books open at about 50.5, but really haven't seen it go down too much here. Louisiana Tech did win the last two games coming in over Liberty and Missouri State and scored big time points, 34 and 42 points in that game. But, again, like I said, you have some other quarterbacks in here for these two teams right now. And you also have some, coaching situation here with these clubs as well coming in. For Coastal, meanwhile, they come in on a 3-game losing streak. They got crushed by James Madison in the big game and lost to South Carolina. Obviously, that's going to be a tough one. And they lost to Georgia Southern. We obviously got to look at them. Then it was 45-40 in that one. They did beat Georgia State. So, look, Coastal's losing guys on the offensive line here. Louisiana Tech, their biggest impact losses are mostly in the defensive secondary, I would say. So these guys don't have prolific offenses now with the quarterbacks that are kind of coming into this one. And again, I think this is one where as like a lot of them, you're looking more towards last year or towards next year than this past year. So I think Louisiana Tech, they got Kukuk in there because Bullock hit the transfer portal. Blaine Baker, the other quarterback, is hurt here. So Kukuk is the quarterback in this one for Louisiana Tech. It's not an awful situation for them, I don't think here. Look, it's a big number, and I really would prefer Louisiana Tech to have a better chance to cover than Coastal maybe to get the number. I think a lot of people are going to be on the dog. Let me hear from you in the chat, but I think it's moved here kind of for a significant reason. I think Coastal's a little bit more depleted right now coming into this game. So let's see what you got. I mean, this also is Sunbelt versus Conference USA, so it is a little bit of a conference mismatch as well. The game's being played in Shreveport. Will it be enough to get a hook on there at 10.5? I better make the under as my official play. I think I'm going to get there with Louisiana Tech. But hey, maybe I need a premium here in this one. Let's see what we have in the chat. Ready to go on our first game. Hope I gave a good synopsis there. Let me bring up my notes here a little bit. Maybe I could have a real preview of the game. Let me just get to your comments here. All right. Robert's with me on the under. First thing out the books. That's good. Jimmy says, yeah, that spread jumped for sure. And just, yeah, I think it is because of the situation here with Coastal. And look, like I said, Louisiana Tech has put some points up here for sure. And, on the away from home, Coastal 2-4 ATS. This is not a home game for Louisiana Tech. They were terrific at home, but also they were 8-4 ATS, 5-3 ATS as a favorite. So, it's pretty good numbers. Coach Gumby does, Coach Crumble, remember Coach Crumble, not always the best as a favorite, but man, this team plus 10 in turnovers this year. And Conference USA non-conference favorites were 4-1 against the spread. That's not saying much, but they mostly played up out of conference. So here they're kind of playing down. The favorite has won and covered the last two Independence Bowls here. And Louisiana Tech, you could look at it one way. They lost this game last year, but they played Army. It was 27-6. They're coming back with, to me, a little bit more bowl experience, even though they've lost their last two bowl games by a significant margin. The Shants have gone 2-2 in their last four bowl games, both straight up and against the spread. Coastal 8-1 to the over in their last 10 games overall. That's tough, but I'm going to go under in this one, saying that the offenses are just not what they were during the regular season. And I think what we've seen time and again in these bowl games, any disruption of the offense with the quarterback looks to be a problem, getting the points on the board. To me, it seems almost I didn't go game by game. We almost should to look at, one or two teams missing the quarterback so far this bowl season, over under. I mean, how many of these games are going 24-14, 24-10, 27-13, right? I think we've seen that going down here for sure. And Jimmy said the total has gone down. All right, Greg says, though, 31-20 here in this one. And Nuke likes the Bulldogs to roll. And so does our Tomps here. They will blow out Coastal. Coastal definitely has the more opt-out. I believe more opt-outs by the numbers. And also I felt like the key players a little bit as well. Also, don't forget Louisiana Tech, the coaching situation for both teams here has had some, changes here right now. So Louisiana Tech doesn't have the coaching concerns that Coastal does. The head coach was fired. The former Louisiana Tech coach joined Coastal prior to this season, and he will serve as the interim coach. So that is a, kind of a twist on the whole thing, but he's going to Kansas State anyways after. So it's just a 1-game deal, but he's, it's kind of interesting though, if you want to give it Coastal anything there a little bit. So Louisiana Tech doesn't really have the same concerns coaching staff wise. I think these guys are mostly intact here. Blake is on the under here. And let's see here. There's Stand on Biz there. He's talking about the players that are out here in this one. And Tech money line for Stand on Biz. Tech going to blow them out. You guys are all over Tech, and then maybe I should have went with Tech. Well, to be honest, like I said, I may have a premium here on this one, so I think we're all on the right side. Hey, it's free anyways. Just type in the word Xmas to get confirmation, see how it works. But anybody on the subscription, it's coming, baby. We're going with Tech in a blowout here, okay? Yeah, Coastal, they might have hit their peak, right? We saw Coastal, and we've seen this program, and it's just tough, when these guys, when a program comes out of nowhere like Coastal did for a couple years. Remember, they were rolling there for a little while, and that's their peak. And then coaches kind of go away, and that they're not going to reload like some of the other teams if they have an off year. They could. That's a sign of a great, good program, but usually need another coach to come in and do it as well. So. All right, I'm going under as my play here on the show. Okay, great job, guys. Thanks. Let's go on here now, too. Now, hey, all these bowl games were pretty cool, and but now we got teams where will like catch your attention a little bit on the screen, even though it is just Tennessee and Illinois. But we're getting into the bowl, the big boy season now here. We're getting close to the holiday. We're getting close to those playoff games. We got Tennessee coming in and taking on Illinois in the Music City Bowl. We're in Nashville, so we're, in a pro stadium here. This is a, big game. Illinois is actually hoping that the cold weather here today will help them in this game. Look, Tennessee is favored here. Maybe obviously, I don't know. I mean, look, they got a pretty good situation coming this game at quarterback. Feels like they're, somewhat stable here for sure coming in with the Heupel here. Always a pretty good favorite, 24-18 in his career with Tennessee as a favorite, although just 3-6 this season wasn't great. But Tennessee out of conference is 75%. Here over the last, since the pandemic, basically 75% ATS, all non-conference games for Tennessee. And, they play a modest schedule here every year for sure. So I think this kind of fits right up that alley a little bit. Illinois had done a nice job here, and they're the better spread team for sure. 7-4-1 against the spread, but just 1-3 against the spread as an underdog. Should note that the winner of this game has covered the spread outright in, I believe, 22 of the last 25 Music City Bowls, if I'm not mistaken. The winners covered the spread. Of course, the underdog, if they win, cover the spread, but that doesn't always happen. Let me see if I have the favorite odds here. The favorites have covered 5 of the last 9 Music City Bowls in general. So those other four, right? The dogs come through. So this is a game where the winner always covers, which does mean that look, if you're looking at the favorite here, Tennessee, it's not like they're favored by 7 or 10, like it would be harder. They are expected to win, so it may be slightly easier to cover the spread, and maybe easier because I don't know. I think they have the better situation offensively here. What do you guys think in this one with Tennessee and Illinois here? It's not while it is in Tennessee, it isn't, and Illinois will be traveling to this game. Yes, it'll be Tennessee here mostly at the Nissan Stadium there in Nashville. It should look like a Vols home game, but it's not a terrible trip for Illinois fans. About 3.5 hours, I think, for the Vols fans here. So Tennessee is not in the worst of shape when it comes to the transfer situation here, like you might think. Illinois won't have to deal with much of it either, but the Volunteers could have been, in a worse situation. They will be missing Brazil, the wide receiver, the great wide receiver. He's going to the NFL, so doesn't need to play in this one. And also, maybe the three best defensive players on the Volunteers are out of this game. And they've also had some other guys who've kind of opted to sit out as well. But still, I think, offensively here, they have the talent to step up and step in to me in this game. I think the chat might be willing to take the dog, but I don't think I'm gonna. I think I'm gonna be on the favorite here in this one. Let me go to the chat. Look, I like Aguiar too. I think that's a big. Altmaier's good, man. Altmaier's good. But I think I like Aguiar better actually in the game. So let me go to the chat, see what you guys have. The 61.5. Look, I was hoping to be lower because I would probably go over, but it might be tougher than it looks, I think, to get to 61 here. Even though Tennessee was 6-2 to the over as a favorite this season, Illinois was 5-1, 3-1 to the over as a dog. The Illini has been going under a little bit here of late, so. Okay, let me get your plays here. Did have some steam just come in here a short time ago. Notre Dame and Stanford basketball. Don't get excited, you know the matchups, but Notre Dame and Stanford here up to 146.5. Some steam came in on the over in that basketball game. I'll get to the chat here with the football game in just a moment. Tennessee State and Tennessee Tech, some steam to the over here. It was 152. We're up to 154.5, 155 with Tennessee State and Tennessee Tech. Also, while we were on the air here, Milwaukee and Wisconsin steam to the under there. Man, that thing went from 150 all the way to one. You tell me they don't dummy up the lines, these pro bettors, from 150 all the way up to 156. And then back down. Is that right? That can't be right. But anyways, it did get steamed back down here to about 154 with that one. Okay, let's go to the chat. I guess I'm committed to the Tennessee Volunteers here. Mostly, I like Joey Aguiar in this game. Let's go, chat. See what you have here. Okay. Hey, AJ's in the chat right there. And look at this. Greg likes 84. He likes some Volunteers here in one of the highest scoring games in college football history. Nuke here is on the Illini as a dog here. And, yep, there's Blake. That's going to be a lot of dogs. Even Blake's going. He's got a big old Tennessee helmet in his avatar. So don't listen to me on this one. We got our Knoxville correspondent here. Blake says he's taking Illinois. Doesn't see it the way I do. Wow. Okay, Illinois ain't ready. Get ready for the Fighting Irish. All right. And Altmaier, he is a gamer here. Look, maybe I'm always Mr. SEC guy. I could never get away from it maybe here. All right. Steve Veleftarian's here. Thank you. Stand on Biz says maybe over is the best. You know what? I think I'm on the under, actually, but All right, and hey, I've had a good bowl season on this show. I think I can admit that freely here, and I feel pretty good about that. Robert here's on Illinois, and let's see any others here. Hey, it's the groovy alien joining us here with the Illinois money line. James Parm likes the over, and Terrell. Maybe we are. Maybe you know what? Maybe we need to. All Tennessee games are over, says Jimmy Wynn. Yeah, they were. You're right, Jimmy. They were, no doubt about it. I think it's going to be Illinois that has the problem getting their points that they need. But okay, I think that might be it from the chat. And I'm going with the Volunteers here, laying the points against Illinois at the Music City Bowl. All right, USC taking on TCU at the Alamo Bowl in San Antonio. Another big one here. USC. This one, look, it's in San Antonio. It's not far from Fort Worth here, but I don't know. That's about all I can say about TCU's chances in this game. Come on. With Lincoln Riley here. You know what he does in bowl games. I was witness to it. I went to see USC last year here in Las Vegas when they took on Texas A&M. I mean, yeah, A&M got some points. That was Texas A&M. And that was a game. USC needed everything, right? That was a good game. And USC needed everything to win that game. Not saying that TCU is not a great team. And yeah, it's a year later. It's a little bit different going on here, but yeah, Texas A&M, TCU. I love TCU, don't get me wrong, but not tonight, not with USC and Jordan Mayaba here. Come on. He's going to finish with some of the best stats in the postseason, I would think, for a quarterback in this game here. He should light this situation up. TCU may make it respectable just because I think, we might see this was the one I think is going to be the wild shootout of a game here, don't you think? Now Hoover's out. If Hoover was in for TCU, it really would. They've actually had to go down to the former Vanderbilt quarterback. Hold on here, guys. I got to plug in my phone here. So, I'm laying in bed looking at things. Okay. TCU's had to go. Remember the former Vanderbilt quarterback who, basically when he saw that Diego was coming in, and he pretty much bailed here and ended up here at TCU. So look, he's not bad. Talking about Ken Seals, he's not bad. And look, he gives TCU a chance here without Hoover, but I think it's just a big difference. You got Jordan Mayaba going up against Ken Seals here. So I think that's why the Trojans are going to crush here in a high scoring game and probably rock them. Actually, Lincoln Riley does that's what he does, is score a lot of points in bowl games, right? Pretty much. So Trojans have won 4 of their last 5. They've given up some big points when they've lost, no doubt about it. But got Mayaba coming in here with a lot of experience. USC scored basically averaged at 35 points in their last 2 35 and 42 points in their last 2 bowl games right now. USC has gone under in 5 of their last 7. They have pretty good defensive players too. They bombed USC 29-10 and gave it up against Oregon. Certainly we know what Oregon's up to, but USC did come through. They might not have been covering many spreads here down the stretch. And hey, TCU beat Cincy. They beat Houston, of course, but they lost to BYU. They got crushed by BYU. I don't know where you want to put USC in comparison to BYU, but also they got beat by Iowa State at home. Remember, in that game, lost by 3. So TCU hasn't been a very good spread team this season. They're just average, but they're usually a favorite. They were a favorite most of the time. Here they're an underdog. So see what you got, though, in this one. TCU's offense not only they struggled down the stretch, basically average about 16 points a game in the last 3 games that they played there before the Cincinnati game, the regular season, the last 3 regular season games there, 4, whatever it was. So they beat up on Cincinnati. Okay, see what you got here in this one. TCU's won 3 of their last four bowl games. Riley's just 3-4 straight up in his bowl games, but this might be a step down here at the Alamo Bowl a little bit. So let's see what you got. The underdog has come through in 7 of the last 10 Alamo Bowls. These teams haven't met since before the pandemic. Go to the chat here. I'm on USC to roll here. And let's see what you got. Ken Seal says, stand on biz. He's got a seal there. Trojans for Nuke. Got Teresa. Hello to Teresa. So good to have Teresa in the chat. Wow. Great to see you, Teresa. Hope you have a great new year. Greg here with his score. Bobby Mack in there has got the Trojans. And let's see, Robert's on the over as well. And yeah, we got players out, no doubt about it here. But again, I've got, if I just take these 2 programs, USC is doing a pretty good job, right? Always getting some players down there. But I've got USC and I've got Lincoln Riley. If anything, USC could say, like, what are we doing in this bowl game? We should be doing a little bit better, but that might come. They were still 9-3. South Carolina State and Tennessee. We're seeing some steam to the over here in the basketball game. It was 147. We're up to 149 here. South Carolina State and Tennessee. Steam to the over. All right. Jimmy says no TSU, no Hoover. I think is that what he's saying there? Also, Albany and South Carolina, some steam here to the over in this one with Albany and South Carolina. This one was 147, but we're up to 149 here with Albany and South Carolina. All right. Terrell says SC team total over, and it would be a big failure. Public Enemy going with the under. Do I have the wrong total up there, by the way? No. Maybe Public Enemy's going for an alternative total. No, 55. I got 56.5. I'm making sure. Let me see there. 56. That's fine. Okay. No problem, Public Enemy. It would be a failure if they lost. Okay, I'm going with SC here in this one. Man, they're gonna. I think, pretty big total here, but SC. I like that team total play too. All right. So that'll be a good one tonight at the Alamo Bowl. And again, just one game after another. Okay, we've got a great NBA, NHL, college basketball to look at. Let's get rolling with the other sports here today. So go to the NBA. Oh, one more there. Let's see. Who was it? Vars here. He likes SC as well. All right. Yeah. I might go alternative. You guys like them too. I might go like some alternative line there, it feels like. Okay, let's get rolling here on the NBA basketball tonight with the Sixers here taking on Memphis on the road. Hey, this one's moved. Pick them at the sharp books right now, but it's one. Ooh, the total's moved up here to 234 in this one. Wow. Okay. I mean, I didn't know it was going to go that way, but it has. Philadelphia has lost 3 in a row coming into this one. Sixers with losses to Brooklyn, Chicago, and OKC. Meanwhile, Memphis comes in off of a loss at Washington as they were a road favorite. Before that, they beat Utah and they beat Milwaukee. Memphis has come back to life a little bit of late. They've worked their way up here to 15-17 right now. Philly's only 16-14. We know that Philly's been one of the best spread teams in the league so far this season, especially on the road with a 9-3-1 record. Memphis, meanwhile, just 7-8 against the spread at home. They also are 5. They're also 12-20 to the under this season at home. Overall are the Grizzlies 10-20 to the under. But I think most for me in this one is, yeah, we're dealing with teams here in Memphis and Philly. They don't meet totally frequently, but Philly's always had trouble here in Memphis. They've won one time in the last 11 games, I believe. Here, let me get this one straight. 10-1 Memphis at home in their last 11 games against the Sixers. I think that might be good enough for me as a team versus team trend, if you will. Yeah, maybe the Sixers have been the better spread team, but I don't know if they're the better team anymore right now than the Grizzlies here. On the injury list, of course, you got to see if Embiid's still questionable here. We won't know for a while on that. Grizzlies do have a couple guys out here, looks like. Brandon Clark's still out. Yeah, Vince Williams, Londale, and KCP all questionable. But I'm going to take Memphis on that. Sounds like Philly likes to have a good time with some barbecue there, maybe. And I'll take Memphis in this one. You guys can comment in the chat bar. Likes the under here. Grizzlies can't beat the Wizards. How are they going to beat the Sixers? Or watch them beat the Sixers. Greg likes this one to come down to the wire. Public Enemy is on Memphis, and so is Bobby Mack. I got to go with Memphis. I mean, when you see these, like this, when you have the 10-1, I mean, I'm gonna be on that a lot of times. Philly actually won here back in April of last year. They won here in Memphis. That was the one win, 116-96. All right, Bobby Mack here on the over, and Groovy Aliens having a delicious breakfast. All right, the Celtics are taking on the Jazz here. Celtics road favorite by 8, and the total in this one, 241, as it moved up here about a point. Boston comes in 19-12. They had their winning streak snapped last time out with that upset loss at Portland. Utah, meanwhile, has won 2 straight over Detroit and San Antonio. It's pretty good for the Jazz. They're beating some teams. They're covering some spreads. They're actually pretty strong at home against the spread, right? 13-5 against the spread at home. Boston, no doubt, starting to heat up here a little bit with those wins, and they covered a few as well. They didn't cover 11.5 at Indiana, or at home against Indiana, although they went on the road and covered 8.5 at Indiana in a back-to-back situation, or not a back-to-back, but they played consecutive games there, 2 and 3 games back. So Boston just 10-10 against the spread as a favorite. Utah 15-12 against the spread as a dog. I like the points. I think I got to take the points with this team here. Boston on a road trip here, 3rd stop on the trip. Utah, as long as Markkanen's in, right? It just feels like he's so important to this team. Keontae George is questionable here in this one. Ace Bailey's out. But I think I've got to take the points here with the Utah Jazz against Boston here on Tuesday night. We can go to the chat and see anybody interested in this one. Boston covers says stand on biz. And Trevor wants to know the major line moves over here. And Robert says, I only cover the steam here, Trevor. The major line move is private information. It'd be too hard. I do like to look at it, though. All right, revenge for Boston, Greg says, for the meeting there where Utah won 105-103 in that game back in November. He says Boston wins it tonight. Look at that score he has there. That would be a cover. All right. All right, here we go. One of them looks like they're taking TCU over here, maybe down. Let me see here. Let me look real quick. That might be the major line move, actually. Might be seeing some 5.5. Stay tuned. Okay, that's it for that one. I'm on the Utah Jazz there. Here we go. Next up, Pistons taking on the Lakers here tonight. A good one here at the Crypto You got the Detroit Pistons here, losers of two straight. Of course, they lost to Utah and the resurgent Clippers. Lakers here, meanwhile, maybe feel healthy here with their two superstars, but maybe with Austin Reeves, it's not so great. Now they did rock Sacramento to snap their 3-game losing streak. They lost to the Clippers, Phoenix, and Houston, and needed to go play the Queens just to get a win and a cover because they weren't covering any spreads either. Pistons, though, meanwhile, just got blown out by the Clippers as well, and they also lost to Utah. This is the 5th game of the trip. They started the trip by winning and covering against Portland. Then they played the Kings. They won, but they did not cover. Then they played Utah. They did not win. They did not cover. Then they played the Clippers, same thing. So you could almost say like, oh, the trajectory of the Pistons on this trip is going down. But maybe this is to be with a spot that the Pistons get right. I mean, the Lakers are supposed to be the team right now with some dysfunctionality, so much so that, you heard the comments. Now, I don't think a win and cover over Sacramento fixes anything, right? You better win and cover against Sacramento. So I think you got a main piece here in Austin Reeves missing the game here. I like the Detroit Pistons to come in here and get this one over the Lakers. Hey, look, I want to be on the Lakers in some spots. It may not be a little public-y, but they're getting points at home. That could be enough here for you. Let's see what you got. The one that I will say, remember, the Lakers are 0-2 to the under in their last 2 games. But remember, they were 11-0 to the over in the previous 11. But you could say that, Reeves has been down here now, and they're starting to, they need him for that. I don't know. I don't know if that's the case. Still, Lakers, like I said, 11-2 to the over in their last 13, except just 0-2 to the under in their last 2 games. All right, some steam at least will get you. Santa Clara taking the steam against Portland today. Santa Clara was a 12-point favorite. They're going up to 13.5 here, maybe 14. Santa Clara on the road, getting the steam here against Portland. Man, we got a pretty good match here in this round of 16 match here at the World Darts Championship with this first-timer Harrison, the Swede. Okay, I'm going to take the Pistons. What do you guys have in the chat? Anything on this one? Let's go to the chat. Public Enemy took the Celtics over. Sorry, I missed these. Jaylen Brown. Detroit basketball, says AOD. And, I should remember LeBron's birthday. After all, it's right there with some other these late December birthdays, right, guys? Some other legends too, like Tiger and other guys too, right? We got these late December birthday legends here over over here right now with some of these guys. Sandy Koufax, okay. I can almost name all of my favorites in these only because of of my birthday. But Sandy Koufax, I'm pretty sure he's today, along with LeBron. I mean, I know those two pretty well, and also. Oh man! See, now you got me, and I'm trying to think of the ones on my birthday. I should be able to get these. Denzel is my birthday. Yeah, that's for sure. There, I think that's all I can think about. Right, Carl Willis, there. So James Brooks, one of my favorite running backs. I guess that's getting a little bit too narrow, but because he was a Charger, so I always knew it was his birthday. New York Mets legend Ray Knight as well. Major line move. Okay, let's see here. Sports betting groovy alien. Vermont had a big move there. Talking about the Vermont game. We're going to get to college basketball here. Just won't Public Enemies on the over. Here's Barr on the Lakers. And Greg says if Luka plays, now I got to check the injury report because I don't think Luka was on the injury report. Now I'm worried. here. All I know is Austin Reeves. Jackson Hayes questionable. Hachimura still out as well. And for the Pistons, Levert is questionable. Any Levert fans out there? I know Terrell probably could sing some Levert songs with me. And he likes the bad boys over the Lakers here. 9 Legacy likes Lakers on the money line. And Barr, he missed the beginning of the show, so he does not know that I have the under in the Coastal and Louisiana Tech game and Tennessee in that other game. Oh, there it is. Let's see here. Robert here on the under. Robert on the over. Fernando's on the over here as well. It's got to go over, doesn't it? Tiger Woods, right? Yeah, right. 9 Legacy. Kenyon Martin as well. Maybe I should get a Kenyon Martin tattoo. There, happy birthday to everybody in 9 Legacies family. LeBron should go off tonight. God, I don't know. It's such a struggle. LeBron is actually operates very well when Reeves is in there. When Reeves is in there and when Luke is in there, LeBron is not a crazy ball. He really does, and you kind of wonder why is LeBron? There's a reason why he had those games here. Those weren't awful games. Well, one of them was awful, but the one game where he didn't score the 10 points, still kind of dotted the stat sheet there a little bit. We know he's old too, but it's the other guys too. But when you don't have the whole team, UMass is taking some steam here. In their matchup right now against Eastern Michigan. We got some action basketball here. UMass was a 1.5 point dog. They're now a pick 'em. Maybe there might even be a 1 point favorite here right now with UMass taking the steam. Let's keep it one last game here. I guess you can have 2 pro basketball games in the same city, just a couple of miles apart. Clippers at home taking on the Kings here, minus 9.5. Clippers, all of a sudden, everything's fixed. They've won 4 in a row. They look like one of the best teams in the league. And no Zubats either here. It's not because of Zubats being out, although it almost coincides. It's been out a little bit more than that. Mostly coincides with Harden really stepping up his place. It's kind of getting healthy here, and Kawhi Leonard. He only scored 55 points last game. And remember, he's not always in there, but I think he's in there tonight. And they're favored here by 10 now, and the total 221. So maybe the Clippers don't look like a team covering a lot of spreads here this season, no doubt about it. They have covered 7 of their last 10 all of a sudden and have won these 4 games in a row by comfortable margins. Blowouts, really. LA, Houston, Portland, and Detroit. Now you have a Kings team coming in here that they're terrible. They just got beat by the Lakers at the Crypto 125-101. And that was a Laker team that we're trying to figure out if they're even broken. You got to think the Clippers are going to rock here, I would think. Sacramento did beat Dallas at home. Covered at home against Detroit despite a loss. They were getting 9.5. They upset Houston at home, but they're on the road here in LA playing their second game in 3 nights here, hanging out in LA, waiting to play this game. Let's go to the chat. I'm on the Clippers. Here, give me the Clippers tonight to roll by double digits over the Kings. And here we go with some picks in the chat. It's going to be Public Enemy on the Clippers. I think Greg, though, he likes the dog. He likes Kings there. Clippers have not covered last 6 as a home favorite, right? They're 3-11 against the spread as a favorite this season, Steve, right? 4-10 against the spread at home, but all green, pop goes my mind. All the green arrows up here right now for the Clippers. Probably hit the road and maybe give something up here right now, but hello to Billy Siegfried in there, man. The Lakers are horrible. They need to trade LeBron. They need to regroup. Yeah, they're probably not going to do that. I don't know what happened, right, Bill? I mean, things were looking so good there for a while. The Luka injury there for a while, and then now you got Reeves out. the bench is suspect here all of a sudden. So we're going to go over, Billy and I are going to go over the Clipper game a little bit, because that's where we're going to see a better team now all of a sudden, right? Did they just flip-flop personalities? The Lakers were doing great. Everything was hunky-dory, and the Clippers sucked, and all of a sudden it's vice versa there. All right, that's it for the NBA. Let's go to the NHL. We got to keep it moving here because we got some college basketball coming up. Hurricanes taking on the Penguins here. Uh-oh. Do the Penguins have a goalie or not? Help me out on the goalies, you guys, if I get it wrong here. I've got Skinner in here, but I'm trying to make sure we get the right goalies in here. All right. Here come the Canes, looking pretty sharp here right now and cruising along 24-11-3. They've won a couple in a row here again after a few losses, but beat the Rangers last night at home 3-2 in overtime. Hurricane didn't take long. We got a power play like a minute into the I think it was a minute into the overtime. I think it was. We were watching the football game too. I looked up and the game was over. So time can fly, though. Also beat Detroit in a pretty impressive performance at home. Before that, Carolina's looking pretty good here. One of the better teams in the league here by far right now, no doubt. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, they have been struggling, but they have won 2 of their last 3 all of a sudden for a little bit of a bright spot. They're still next to last in the Metro right now. I think if you look it up in general, you just have to think Carolina in this one. But let's see what you got with these two, and I want to hear from you guys with the NHL plays here. Here we go in the chat. Bar says we got college games in the afternoon. Yep. Also, let's see here. Under in the Fernando talking basketball there. Here we go. Bars on the under here in this one at 6.5, right? I mean, really, are we looking at 2 really high-scoring teams? Yeah, Pittsburgh 11-6 to the over at home, 14-9 to the over as a dog. Carolina's a little bit over here, over in 4 of their last 5. Pittsburgh over in 6 of their last 8, including 6 of their last 7 at home. But 7 of the last 9 meetings between these two teams have gone under here. Penguins money line for Trevor. And Irish King says, Skinner, so far so good, Skinner. Okay, Canes here for Timothy Hawk. Greg says 4-3 Pittsburgh. Robert's on the over. Fernando's on the over here as well coming in. So it's a lot of over action of these two teams, and they're pretty frequent opponents here. Usually going under. The two teams have already met though. Have not met yet this season. Last year the meeting here was 4-1. The first meeting here was 4-1. Their last season, and Carolina has dominated the series for sure, winning 9 of the last 11 games between the two teams overall. That's pretty solid, and they're all kind of low scoring. So I thought that was the way that's going to go. I think Carolina takes care of business in a low scoring game. So I got the under here in this one at 6.5. I'm sure that there's going to be some 6 overs out there, and that may be. I don't want to go there. Can I get 6.5? 6.5 under 25 at DK. They're always going to give you that 6.5 there with the okay price for me. So I'm going to go under at 6.5 if that's okay with the juice. Right, and let's see here. We got some comments on this one from Public Enemy on the Hurricanes here. And Robert says, you know what, maybe that is a little too cheap here. That look, I think Pittsburgh, I don't think they're in a horrible position here. They did just dump Chicago, but before that, I don't think they were playing very well. They beat Montreal, but losses to Toronto, Montreal, and Ottawa. They had the home and home with Montreal there on back-to-back nights. They lost at Montreal, but did come back to win at home, but that was a struggle. And Billy says that the Canes are fire here right now. Greg says they're too inconsistent. And let's see here. Greg says, just when you think the Canes are going to win, they kind of lose. And, has Pittsburgh really improved? Trading, they've been involved in some few goalie trades here last couple years, huh? Pittsburgh maybe their power critter says Carolina's kind of banged up here with the injuries. So, yeah, in fact, we just did get an update here just a few moments ago. Gosti, he is questionable. He was, I think he scored in that last game, or he was involved in the scoring there anyway. But Gosti here is questionable for Carolina and for Pittsburgh. Let me get the Pittsburgh injuries. That's what also Pittsburgh has some injuries. Dewar is questionable, and Carlson, he's questionable here. Carlson, questionable for the Penguins. Okay. And Billy on the over. All right, there's 5 games tonight. Devils and Maple Leafs here. New Jersey coming in 20, 16, and 2. Toronto 17, 15, and 6. Coming in this one, Devils have lost 3 straight all of a sudden to Buffalo, Islanders, and to Washington. Toronto has played pretty well here, wins over Pittsburgh and Ottawa. They did lose to Detroit on the road. Man, I thought they were going to get that one. That was close. Toronto is. Where's the line? Where's the line? What's wrong with the producer here? I think we can call it 120. 120. New. This just in right now. Austin Matthews. Here, I see what's wrong. I've got the wrong graphic up there. Okay, you guys, you got me. No wonder I was so confused there. It's Markstrom and Wohl here. There we go. And this just in, by the way, looks like I'm going to call the Devils $1.20 here. They might be $1.25 at some spots right now because we might see a move here. Austin Matthews, this just in. Austin Matthews, he is questionable here tonight. We don't know why. I don't know. Did we have an injury on? I'm trying to remember if we did. I don't know what it is, but Austin Matthews here, this just in, questionable tonight in this game. So we are seeing a line move here right now to about $1.28 at Bovada. So I'll call it $1.20, but it might be moving up here. The total is mostly a flat 6. So now I fixed the graphic. Let's see who's making fun of me back over here. Nobody really caught it there. All right. Anyway, here you have Toronto here, so playing pretty well. Obviously, here this is a big situation here with Matthews tonight. But Toronto now as an underdog, they're 5-10 as an underdog this season, but 12-5 at home. Still, these Devils playing pretty consistently, not knocking anybody's socks off here at this point. They've kind of given away that, relatively decent start back at 20, 16, and 2 here, as I said right now. So we'll see what you guys have in this one here with the Devils. Currently sitting in 6th place in the Metro right now. They are 10-9 on the road. Toronto, meanwhile, sitting at last here now in the Atlantic. I can't believe it all of a sudden with this, home record. At least they're 12-5-5, but 5-10-1 on the road. Everyone's taking their turn here at the bottom of the division, but this is kind of sad to see Toronto basically hitting rock bottom, if we could call it that right now. See what you guys got in the chat. I'll make my call here in this one, but can Toronto kind of get this turned around? I don't know if they can in this game. Let's see what you got in the chat. Timothy's on the under here. Pittsburgh more banged up. Oh, we're talking about that game there. Okay. Robert's on the Devils here. Public Enemy is on the Maple Leafs. And said just what did I say? A week ago, I took the Kings at home, and the Panthers beat them good. These two teams played back on October 21st. The Devils won it 5-2 here in Toronto. Power Critter says it's a toss up here. Trevor says Maple Leafs on the money line. Cash Kane says Devils -1.5 with Hughes coming through for 2 Devils here. Pittsburgh. I'm going here with the Devils in this one. Give me New Jersey here on the road to beat the Leafs here tonight. I just like, to me, you got to look at the Devils so far. Serviceable here on the road. It feels like to me at 10-9, but they're up a couple units. I'll take the Devils in this one. Oh, geez. Hold on a second. Okay, here we go. All right, Canadians on the road taking on the Panthers here. Montreal, an underdog at plus $1.20. Panthers minus $1.40. 6.5 under at -115. I think it's going to be Sam in here. I think he's already actually been confirmed in goal in this game, going up against possibly Tarasov here in this one. For Sam, he comes in here. He had to go back down to Laval Rocket there for a little while, but this is his first game back in 3 weeks. We know Fowler has supplanted him and Dobish as the number one goalie here for now with the young goaltender, hoping that he is for real. But you got Sam in here with 3.65 goals against 5-6 and 1 record. So maybe it's helped him a little bit to go down to Laval Rocket and take some time away, and he's back here right now. We'll see if it's Tarasov. Montreal has lost 2 of its last 3, including losses to Pittsburgh and Tampa Bay, Florida. Meanwhile, with a win over Washington last night here at home, 5-3 to keep that winning going. But, I almost don't mind Montreal on the road. I'm a little skeptical here with Sam in net, but let's see if back to back here. You're expecting Tarasov 2.97 goals against. Here I might trust Montreal. Let's see if you guys do in this one. I think I'm gonna try it here at plus $1.20 or so. Give me Montreal here against Florida. Hey, I've led the charge with Florida. I know you guys have been on them too, but I'm going to go with Montreal, still one of the best road teams in all of hockey here this season. Currently, Montreal is 10-3-5. I don't know if anybody outside of Colorado has a better record than Dallas too. Dallas has only 2 regulation losses on the road, but Montreal is number 3 in the league here with just 3 regulation losses. So I am going to try Montreal at plus money. Let's see how Sam does. If he gets his mojo back a little bit now that he lost his job here. Timothy's got the over in this one. Greg likes it 4-2-3. And let's see here. Robert is on the over. Panthers by 1, says the Groovy Alien. Public Enemy's on the over here. Okay. Oh, also Power Critter like in Florida. Yeah, these teams have not yet met this season. Montreal has dominated actually the series here of late. They've taken actually so interesting. Montreal has won 5 straight meetings between these two teams, yet has gone 2-9 in their last 11 games in Florida. So home dominated series for sure, to say the least. But Montreal did win here last year 4-2 and 4-0 in their 2 trips in here last season. This is the first meeting of the season here right now. Robert might be on it as well. Thank you, AJ, as well. All right, next up. The Islanders have taken on the Blackhawks here with Rittich in goal. Know that Sorokin, he's hit the shelf here right now, so expecting Rittich here. 21, 14, and 4 for the Islanders. 14, 18, and 6 here for Chicago. Islanders $1.45 in this one. Islanders coming in off of a loss to Columbus on the road, 4-2. Snapped their 2-game winning streak. They were playing pretty well. Chicago, meanwhile, has not been playing well. They did get that upset over Dallas in that shootout on the road, but really that was like the lone bright spot in a couple of weeks right now. Things have not been going well for the Blackhawks here. That the Islanders should be able to take this one. The way the Blackhawks are going, they're just not playing anybody here well right now. In fact, you could say because of some of the other mediocre teams that we're used to losing, teams like San Jose or Calgary, Buffalo on fire here. Obviously, that Chicago might have found their way to the worst team in the league here after it looked like they were building things up a little bit. They've tumbled hard here right now. Still only 14, 18, and 6, but Islanders have won 4 of the last 6 meetings between the two teams. Blackhawks have lost 7 of their last 8, 7 of their last 9 at home. 14 of the last 20 meetings between these two teams have gone under. And, well, these two teams are pretty much under teams, I would think, so far this season. Chicago's 7-11 to the under at home. The Islanders 7-11 to the under on the road. They're always open. Although I will say the Islanders are 8-5 to the over as a favorite here still. Islanders have gone under in 6 of their last 7, and they've all gone under here in 8 of their last 9 on the road. I'm taking the Islanders here, but I think you know what's coming to the subscribers here tonight in this one. And like I said, it's all free anyways here with that promo code Xmas over at Winnable. So get ready for that one. Islanders here tonight, and the Blackhawks. Got to think this one's going to be a low scoring, even without Sorokin in there. And Knight, I'm not down on Knight here necessarily. They've got other problems here. Although Knight, 10, 11, and 5. I mean, not terrible. Rittich actually 9, 4, and 2 with a 2.3 goals against. All right, one more on the ice tonight. We've got let me get your comments. Sorry, gang. Let's see what you got. I'm sorry. Islanders here for Timothy. Greg says Islanders. And Var says, I need 5 good college basketball picks. I think I'm previewing 7 games here in a second. Let's see. Public Enemy, Islanders on the money line. Also Robert, Islanders money line. There's Cash Gain, Islanders on the money line. And Clayton gets the win. He advances in go to the quarterfinals of the World Darts Championship. Anybody watching with me on Peacock? Here's a bar on the Islanders. It's as much as about the crowd as it is the darts, right? 9 Legacy says Blackhawks money line. Power Critter here on the Isles. Greg says the Islanders get back on track. Fernando likes the under. Our Thompson on the Islanders. What a crowd here with me. Got 80 of you in here and everybody talking hockey with me here. And Timothy on the Flyers. All right, one more. Oh, he's on the Flyers. There it is. Flyers and Canucks here with Sammy Erson in the goal here. Thatcher Demko is confirmed for the Canucks here, 8-7, the 2.63 ERA, 90.5% save percentage. Philadelphia coming in off of a loss, but they've won 2 of 3. Got dumped by Seattle last time out. Vancouver, meanwhile, also played Seattle last time out and won at Seattle 3-2. There you go. Vancouver just won at Seattle 3-2 the night before Philadelphia lost at Seattle 3-2. Does that mean we take Vancouver? No, I'm not sure it is, but these two teams did meet just 8 days ago. It was 5-2. Flyers got the win convincingly at home. Flyers have owned the series for sure, although Vancouver did get a win here last season, 3-0 at Philly. Vancouver got a win at Philly. Let me make it clear. there in that one. But Philadelphia here, they've beaten Vancouver in 4 of the last 5 games, but it's Vancouver here right now. 1-8 in their last 9 games at home, despite the fact that they've won 5 of their last 7 overall. It's Philly that's 9-3 as a favorite in their last 12 in that role, although they've lost 6 of their last 9. So I don't know the way I would look at that, right? I mean, I've got a Flyers team that does operate well as a favorite. Vancouver, for some reason, a home funk right now, even though they're playing relatively well. They did lose they lost to Philly, like I said. That was just a couple games ago. Then they lost to San Jose. We were on San Jose in that one, remember? And before that, Vancouver beat the Islanders in Boston. Remember, they went up on the road. And they were kicking butt on the road. So one of those mental block things here. Vancouver is 11-5 to the over at home. Philly's 4-8 to the under as a favorite. But 6 of the last 7 meetings between these two teams have gone under here when they've played in Vancouver, and 4 of the last 5 games overall between the two have gone under. They only meet twice a year. Vancouver's gone under in 10 of its last 14. So I'm going to take Philly here in this one. Give me the Flyers to win on the road over Vank here tonight. All right, and it's going to be Flyers here for, we already said that with Timothy, yeah. Public Enemies on the over here. Canucks for Cash Kane. Greg says 3-2 Flyers. They dominate this series. They do. Flyers for Robert. Flyers for Fernando. Robert said it was a shootout there, that game last night with Seattle. Make no mistake. VAR going over. And under for Fernando. The Irish King likes Vancouver, though. I'm going to take Philly in this one. Probably got to maybe have a premium on the total here. We'll see. That's it for the hockey. All right, we're doing well. Get out of here before the top of the hour and look at some college basketball. I know there's a lot of day games. I was on a show last night. If you guys see another show out there, made some picks on some of those early games. So I'm going to go right to the kind of the primetime games, if that's okay. Got enough games. We don't have to regurgitate some of the info. I think everybody knows that some of the shows I pick the same pick there. Like I said, I'm going to try to throw in some props, but just got to find the right format here. I know a lot of, look, to me, public cappers talk about sides and totals. I mean, if you got a great prop, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to, even my props, I don't like on the shows. I'm trying to be a public capper. I don't want to go in there because we heard it. If you watch some of the shows, right, like there's some internet talk shows with some cool guys. I think they're cool. They're pretty good, actually. They sit around, talk about all the gambling, talk about props, right, where, you know what, you got some of the touts that are like, hey, I've got this prop. It's only at DraftKings, but it's up there, and that's what I'm taking. No problem. But I just really like to give out what's accessible to everyone, or the most popular props. If win or lose. I know I can probably go about it differently than everybody. There's some big time winners out there. We got a couple of them right here on this channel. All right, here we go. Let's take a look here with our card in college basketball. Hey, I did pick this one though. It's kind of early. Oh man, this one got ruined. Let me go to this one between Albany and South Carolina. But we'd have that steam come in. That's what I'm laughing about here. Steam to the over in this one with Albany taking on South Carolina here. Albany comes in 4-10. I mean, come on. They're a big underdog here to South Carolina. Maybe I might be able to switch to the side here because, come on, South Carolina's going to rock these guys. Let me just check the movement, though, here. I'd rather give out the strongest of the plays. Yeah, I'm on the over. I'm on the over anyways. That's what I was going to play. I should have said it when it came in because now the total here is up to. And again, hey, this is a free pick show. That's why we're on the over here at 140. Look at this. Bovada's all the way up to 149. Circa hanging on to 147.5 here right now, but I've got the over in this one as my play here. South Carolina is 6-4 to the over at home here this season. That's to me, I've just got South Carolina putting a pretty big number, I would think, here against these guys, against Albany coming into this one. You look what South Carolina's done here already. They put 95 up there against South Carolina State last time out there. And also, they had 82 against Stetson. When they played some better teams, maybe it's been a little less, but again, you're playing Albany here, and I think South Carolina can get it done and get this total over here. 20 sounds okay by me, but let me play the total in this one with USC here against Albany. Go to the chat. Albany's gone over in a few here. They gave up 106. They gave up 105 to FAU. They gave up 83 to Cornell. They were kidding, right, yesterday about talking about that Cornell game yesterday. And I thought Cornell, to me, they've got a legitimate offense. So even, when I talked about it, then they were quizzing me a little bit on the Ivy League, where maybe Cornell's not the best, but they certainly have an offense that can match it with teams like Yale and Columbia in there. Albany gave up 93 to Yale, 93 to Columbia, 83 to Cornell. So, I would think South Carolina can, I think South Carolina is right up there with more of the FAUs of the world than even the Ivy guys, right? So, yeah, you might lay 20. Let's see anything here in this one. Fernando, that was a hockey game. Aubrey here is on the over. Greg says he's got it 85-64, and I get to say the word Cox. Bar here's on South Carolina. Bobby Mack on South Carolina. Power Crit will go with me on the over, but let's do a little daily double and take. You guys like South Carolina? I'll roll with that. Let's go a little parlay. South Carolina on the over in this one. These are the ones I secretly do a 5-point teaser and don't tell anybody about it. All right, let's move on to Seton Hall taking on Marquette. Seton Hall is on the road here, favored in this one over the Warriors here. Wow, okay, let's take a look at this one now. Seton Hall, look, they've been a pretty good cover here, and Marquette not so much, right? Seton Hall comes in 11-2 right now. They did finally lose last time out, stopping that winning streak. They lost to Villanova. Nothing wrong with that, although they only scored 56 points at home, stopped their winning streak. Marquette, meanwhile, they're in a funk, but playing good teams, decent teams. Wisconsin, Purdue, Georgetown, they were favored and lost, and they got blown out by Creighton as well. So Marquette hasn't looked that good here right now, but they might be getting back to feels like a team they can beat. It might be a total buy low situation. It feels like. Let's see here. Maybe I'll go to the total. I'll see what the chat has to say. I mean, it's hard to look at what's going on here with Marquette and say that they're going to do anything because their spread record's really really poor right now. 3-10 ATS, 3-7 ATS at home. Seton Hall's 5-0 ATS on the road. If you were just a trend player like I am most of the time, it'd be hard to get on Marquette. But Marquette's 8-1 against the spread in their last 9 games against Seton Hall. Here, conference game, right? So what are you going to do? You want to trust the non-conference games here a little bit leading up? Yeah, there's been some conference games in there. I get it, but also 3-10. That's not just the last 2 or 3 games. Or you're going to trust when the teams usually get together like they do. Last year, Marquette won them both 80-56 and 76-59, covering the spread in both of them last year. So what do you think? Do you go with what's going on right now? A lot of times you do, but then when you get into conference play and you see the buy low spot here, right? You don't even have to lay anything with Marquette. So, well, see what you like here in this one. I think it makes it for a unique handicap in the chat. But let's see what you got, because I know what I'm already on Marquette. I mean, I guess I can't fool you guys. I'm trying Marquette here. Here we go. With Greg saying Marquette. And I think this is Bar on the over in this one. Fernando's on the over as well. I wasn't sold on the over here. Seton Hall 3-6 to the under as a favorite. Marquette definitely going under here of late. 4 of their last 6. Seton Hall under in 12 of 18 dating back to last season, and 7 of the last 10 meetings between the two have gone under. Most of those games, right, Marquette wins. So why wouldn't it be more under here, I would think, especially with these two teams that kind of trend under a little bit. But I don't know. Seton Hall, obviously, like I said, only scored 56 points against Villanova last time out. And Marquette, here, they haven't scored 70 points in any of their last 3 games. Roberts on the under here. Oh, really, Greg? What are they honoring Dwayne Wade or something? And, the one thing, look, I think Dwayne Wade is pretty good. I think he's good on color commentary during the games. But the tough thing is, and I'm just a guy who never made it anywhere other than with you guys. But when you're interviewing the players, I mean, your mindset. He's a mindset interviewer, right? How do you feel interviewer? All right, Seton Hall here for Power Critter. I mean, I always take, and I'm not saying I do it, but I always take in things in the game that I don't understand, and then I ask the question to the athlete, because there's something every game. I mean, I'm no genius. Okay, and this one, then I'm going to take Marquette. Now you guys are done with that one. With Florida State and North Carolina, how about this one? Get some action here in the ACC with Florida State and North Carolina. Here, Carolina is a team coming in here on a roll. Watch out for Carolina. Beat East Carolina last time out. Beat Ohio State. Remember, didn't cover. And they played East Tennessee, beat them and covered. Didn't cover against Upstate, covered against Georgetown, but still 8-5 against the spread, 7-3 against the spread at home. FSU, meanwhile, back-to-back wins here over Mississippi Valley and Jacksonville. But before that, played teams like Houston, didn't cover, gave up 103 to UMass. I think this is Carolina's ball game here. Now, they're a big favorite, but I think they blow out Florida State right now. I got to like what I see here with Carolina. They not only that, they dominate this series here. Won the meeting here last year at 92-67. And then also won a postseason meeting between the two teams, 96-85. But they covered. It was only 3.5 point spread. So that's Carolina. Like I said, they've kind of dunked these guys in the series overall between these two teams. So I'm gonna lay it. I'm gonna lay the big points in this one and take Carolina for a blowout. Florida State also, they're just 1-6 against the spread in their last 7 games overall, 1-5 against the spread against North Carolina in their last 6 games together. The widely reported steam did come in on Carolina. In fact, I think it might be even higher than it is on the screen there. No, it's 15, and I'm going to lay it with the heels. Okay, here we go.
Major line move.
And yeah, Wade's such a humble man. When they introduced a statue of him that did look nothing like him, he went, "Oh man, look at that! It looks just like me." And didn't want to upset the artist, I think. Florida State here for VAR and 9 Legacy. Stay tuned. I think that game. Did we? Oh man, did we not do that? No, I just took it. Oh, maybe I'm that far behind. or maybe I didn't say, oh, Marquette. I'm on Marquette. I mean, like I said, I'm going with the series history in that one, right? Buy low here, right? Seton Hall's been doing all the covering. We talked about it. Greg here is on the heels. North Carolina for Power Critter. Robert's on the heels. Greg says Florida State's in trouble. All right. Also, North Carolina, do they have to make doesn't I mean, hey, Billy, come on, Billy. It's all let's just hold off a little bit. I mean, this is a good situation so far. I mean, yes, easy schedule. Did lose to Michigan State in a high-profile matchup, but beat Ohio State, beat Kansas so far this year. So let's just wait a minute here. I know we could do better at North Carolina, but Coach Davis has been doing the job here. All right, NYC Bar. I did pick the Vermont Princeton game. There on and anything for you, Bar. I'm on the under in that one, but did another show and picked that game. Okay, next up. Look at this one, Butler and Creighton here right now. We got some conference action here on Tuesday night. You got Butler coming in here 10-3. Creighton just 8-5 right now, but all of a sudden they've won 3 in a row. Remember we were talking about them, was it on this show when they were 5-5 and what was going on? But they're still 6-1 straight up at home right now as a home favorite. They've won 6 of 7. Butler, meanwhile, here they are 10-3, but 0-2 on the true road. However, 2-1 ATS against the spread away from home. Butler comes in 8-5 ATS coming into this one, but this is another one where kind of the series kind of dictates here. I think Creighton won 3 straight meetings between the two, including last year, both meetings. One here, 87-74, covering 11.5. They also won at Butler, 80-76, covering 3 points. The widely reported steam did come in on the over in this game. I thought it came in on Butler too, but let me see here right now if I'm on Creighton. I know that. And see what you guys want to do here in this one. Just wanted to mention, though, that, like I said, the steam did come in here on the over in this game. I was trying to see what the total actually was here. I think it's got to be updated. 156. 5.5 and 156. So I'm laying an extra half a point here. But this total has gone up considerably on some widely reported steam. And okay, I guess that's fine. And the Sharps going to take this number. Maybe you like it over too. But Creighton is 4-9 to the under so far this season, including 2-7 to the under at home, 2-5 to the under as a favorite as well. And not only that, this series also has been a bit of an under between these two teams in their head-to-head, as they've gone under in they went over in their last 2. Creighton's gone under in 9 of their last 13. 9 of their 13 here this season. I guess I better just leave it at that. But I'll take. I like Creighton in this one to cover the spread against Butler. Get it going here a little bit. All right. Let's see what you got here with Creighton for VAR. 9 Legacy says Marquette has been terrible this year. We're going to take Marquette. And see, with 9 Legacy, I can read right through them. Nobody needs to enter the right word when they're using their voice to text or something like that. I can figure it out. And I'm not making fun of anybody. I know we use the voice recognition. Does anybody talk to Chat GPT? Creighton here for Greg. Aubrey likes Creighton. Robert's on the under. Creighton for Fernando here. Power Critters on Butler, though. There's a Butler. Greg saying, I think, under here, and maybe it will be at 153 or so. Yeah, it feels like it's given a little bit of a cushion now, considering Creighton, especially at home, I feel like with Creighton. They did go over against Utah Tech, but Again, they just played Marquette. I'm not saying they're similar to Butler, but I mean, obviously, when you're in conference play, that one was 151. They finished at 147 in that one. The Xavier game, though, but Creighton scored 98 on XU. Wow. They went under against K-State, under against Nebraska. All those are pretty reputable opponents, obviously. Here we go. And VAR also, what about Ohio this morning? I'm on the over there with Ohio and Central Michigan. So yeah, I have no problem. Like I said, there's a show out there where I previewed these games. You guys are welcome to check it out, where the handicap is there. But I'll anything for VAR. He's our man. Okay, next up. How about let's get into the Mountain West here with Nevada and Colorado State. In this one, you've got Colorado State here favored at home over Nevada right now by 3.5 in this one. And the total here is 142.5. I'm going to call it actually down to 2.5 and 142.5. So clearly a move here on Nevada and the under. The widely reported steam came in on the under. That drove this one down. And, I don't know on the surface. I don't know if these two teams are necessarily unders. I know Nevada comes in here pretty hot right now with a winning streak, although they're just 3-2 against the spread as an underdog. They're 9-3 overall. Consecutive wins over San Francisco, UCSD, Washington State, Duquesne, and Boise State. Not bad here for Nevada, but Colorado State's done a nice job too. They're 9-3 straight up, 7-1 is straight up as a favorite, 6-1 straight up at home. They did just lose to Utah State, but Utah State, to me, is the class of the Mountain West. They did lose to them 100-58 on the road, but still beat one and covered over Dartmouth, one and covered over Colorado, USF, and Wichita as well. So I'm taking Colorado State in this one minus this new price here at 2.5. I like Colorado State here over Nevada in this one. I don't know if I could trust that move to the under. These are two over teams combined to go 15-8 to the over so far. Nevada 4-1 to the over as a dog, and Colorado State 6-2 to the over as a favorite, and 13 of the last 19 meetings between these two teams have gone over. So let me go ahead and take Colorado State, but watch out. We might be thinking about the over later on. It's gone down, but I will say this. I had a rugged day yesterday, and I had some of the same handicap where I'm like, man, these are over 10. You got to take into consideration who the opponent is and everything. I was actually, kind of on those steam moves that the steam came in. There were some head fakes. Maybe I fell for the head fakes yesterday. Okay, here we go. Any comments here we've got? Greg here says 73-70 Nevada. And Greg, maybe, he says Nevada to win there. Okay, so going against me. Power Critter likes the over here. I mean, if you look at the two teams, you got to think over, right? But the Sharps have obviously come in on the under here. We're almost done here. What a show, huh? Top of the hour. All right, Notre Dame and Stanford in this one. And you got Stanford here. Wow, considerable favorite by 6 here over a Notre Dame team. Okay, let's see what you got here. For Stanford, ever since they've come into the ACC, it hasn't been great. Now, they have looked good this year, no doubt. 11-2 right now. Notre Dame 9-4. Notre Dame coming in off of a loss to Fort Wayne, 72-69. And they got upset there, no doubt. They've had kind of an easy schedule, but they're 8-5 against the spread so far. They are 1-3 straight up as a dog, but 3-1 against the spread as a dog. They're also here's some steam coming in right now. Miami of Ohio and Bowling Green Steam to the over in this basketball game. It was 153. It's going up to 155 here. Miami of Ohio and Bowling Green. Okay, but ever since Stanford really has come into the ACC, they haven't looked that good. Now, we'll see what happens here right now when they get into conference play. They just beat San Jose, they beat Arlington, they beat Colorado, they beat Northridge. They didn't cover against the Spartans or the Matadors. So it's been tough for Stanford so far in the ACC. 3-10 basically last year was their or they've covered basically just 3 of their last 13 conference games here right now. So I think this is, kind of where the winning I don't say the winning stops. Maybe they'll still win this game. They've been obviously pretty decent here, but we'll see now in their conference opener tonight against this Notre Dame team here right now that they've lost to Ohio State, Kansas, Houston. Yeah, they got upset by Fort Wayne here, but like I said, not a good record for Stanford in conference so far. So I'm going to take Notre Dame here plus the points and maybe even sprinkle the money line here. And we'll see what you got. Last year it was only 56-54. Notre Dame got the win at home. They were actually a 1-point dog in that game. Wow, that was a low score. So the widely reported Steam did come in on the over in this game. It's actually one. Here's another one, right? 143. So these are the ones that got to be careful. So the Steam came in on the over. I was already liking the over, and now it's down. This little head fake action, right? It was 146 and a half, now to 143 and a half, even though the widely reported Steam came in on the over. These I lost and I was out in front of the market. I thought sent out the plays, in the afternoon. Maybe that was maybe these are the ones I'll keep to myself today. I don't know. Because I thought I was on the right side. The market confirmed it, and it still went the other way. Went by the way of the gradual move. Okay, let's see what you got. I got to end the show. I can get a couple hours of shut-eye here before the football game. All right. But I might want some McDonald's here. All right, Stanford's no good. Looking for some plays. Robert's on the under here. Greg liking Notre Dame. 75-72. Here's BTTS in that game I was talking about in the featured game. I think this is the best game of the African Cup of Nations here. Maybe I can look at that UPL card too. Stanford is terrible. All right, I got one more here tonight. And it's San Diego State taking on San Jose State. This one, the Steam came in on the under. That was my play. So just give it out right now and see how it goes. I think now that we're back in conference play, look, the Aztecs scored a lot of points in some of these games where they, they're only 7-4 right now, and they haven't been great. San Jose State's lost 2 in a row to Stanford and New Mexico. I mean, this should be San Diego State's game here. If they've got anything going here this year right now, they'll be bigger inside for sure. I mean, they're favored by 10, even though I'm kind of sketchy on that. This is only their second true road game of the season here right now. The last one was the last game. They lost to Arizona and only scored 45 points, and it was 10 days ago. I think they've had one of the longest layoffs in the nation, along with this San Jose State team that also played 10 days ago as well. So I've got the under, though, here in this one with San Diego State and San Jose State. It's down to 141 and a half, maybe even 141. I'll update it here. We're not getting the best of that line, but I was going to go under anyways. I think when they get into conference play, they'll start holding teams down a little bit. These two teams met 2 times last year, and it was just under this number, I think, 135 in the meeting here in San Jose, as the Aztecs won 69-66, but did not cover 8.5, and San Diego State won at home by 3, laying 13.5. So Aztecs do dominate this series, but straight up. but they don't cover them all. That's for sure. New Mexico has gotten the money. San Jose State has gotten the money in plenty of the games between these two teams here over the last couple of seasons. San Jose State usually wins, but does not cover. So I'll go ahead and take the under in this one. That's what I'm doing. And we've got here Power Critter, Notre Dame in that other one. San Jose for cash gain. Greg likes San Diego State here. Robert's with me on the under here. That's going to do it for the Morning Steam Show. Thank you so much here for joining me. Mikey Money has you covered today at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 Pacific with pre-gaming. Mikey gets ready for the primetime action, including that late bowl game and the NBA, NHL card, and college basketball. So make sure you're here with Mikey Money at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 Pacific. And here he is right now to tell us about Winnable.
Hey, it's Mikey Money here, letting you know the Sports Money team is live on Winnable. Come check out our best bets.
For a low monthly cost, you get the very best bets delivered instantly to your phone by text the moment they're locked in. No delays, no missed lines, just the smartest plays at the best odds.
We do the work, you get the plays, and they're sent right to your phone right when we drop them.
Don't wait, don't guess, don't miss the line. Join the winning team today and start cashing tickets with Winnable.
All right, remember, you can get it 1 week for free here with the 7-day package. It'll say right there, there'll be a little disclaimer. If you don't cancel after 7 days, you're going to get billed. I don't charge you unless you want to be charged. So just you're agreeing to sign up for that and get the plays, including the 7 plays that I have here today in college basketball and 1 free play as well. So check them out and use that promo code Xmas to get 7 free days. Okay, let's do the drawing though and see who's going to win 1 month of free plays from me here with Winnable. Nuke, Irish King, Steve, Tyrion, Power Critter, Cash Gain, Var, AJ, AOD, Blake, all right, Blake, my Knoxville correspondent. Blake, what a great job you did today with us too. Thank you very much. Here you can get that subscription either extended or subscribe to there. Really appreciate Blake doing a great job with me and been a good partnership with you. Thank you so much. Always a great job. Okay, that's going to do it here for the show. We're back tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific, more morning steam. Man, we're getting close to those big games too. We got big games today here in just a little while. So make sure you're with me over there at Winnable for those late breaking plays as well. For the Sports Money Network, I'm Ramon Scott. So long.
For cover, that's gonna cover, that's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice or might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. Ramon Scott.